boy. Welcome to the music industry. You better keep up.
Yo, the A, the H, the M, nobody replacing him.
Matters is green.
You're willing to just walk away from everything you have ever dreamed about, wishing for a chance at greatness.
What's the deal? It's your boy I meant what he said. You know where I'm at. You know what it is, man. Powers Industry, home of new music and entertainment. I'm here with my man, Actor Marcus Callender in the building. What's going on?
Good.
AKA Ray Ray from Power, AKA Scooby from the Breaks. You know, let's jump right into it, man.
Okay.
How did you get on Power?
How did I get on Power? I auditioned for it and got the part. But
Everybody keep just saying that, man.
That's how you get
Yo,
on.
I gotta make a call or do something. Cause everybody asks, I just auditioned. Michael did the same thing. Michael Rainey tells me, he's like, yeah, you know, I just auditioned.
I mean, look, I'll make it a little more interesting. I actually auditioned for the show when it first came out, for the first season. I was up to play Sean.
Oh, the son.
Yeah. I was up
Okay.
to play
You
that
actually
part.
met him at the viewing that they had.
Right. Yeah. Good guy. Saint Croix.
Really
Good guy. Yeah. I worked with him on the Breaks as well. But yeah, so I was up to play that part initially. So that was my first introduction to Power. Then finally got on the show. I auditioned for it, got the part. Funny enough, fun fact, you know who they were gonna give my part to originally? Chris Brown.
Get out of here.
Yeah. He was originally supposed to play my part, but they decided not to. They said, you know what, let's get an actor. And I was really
You
supposed
saying
to.
Chris Brown can't act?
I'm not saying that. Chris Brown, it's not that. But, you know.
I hear you.
So they
This
said.
is what I do, baby.
Right, exactly. So the funny thing, too, is I was only supposed to be in season 3. But Courtney liked me so much and decided to bring me back for season 4.
Okay, that's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
So, on the set of Power,
Right.
anything interesting? Any
Oh, I love
funny
that
kind of
set.
activities happen out
I mean,
there?
all the time.
You
It's
know.
a.
What's your funniest moment on there? It could have been with. Have you ever had it? You know what? Everybody always asks about Tommy. You have any funny moment with Tommy or?
Well, the funniest moments with Tommy are at the table reads. At the table reads, Tommy really adds his flavor to the script, and he's hilarious. But on set itself, I mean, it's a really tight-knit squad. You know, they've been doing it for a long time, so everybody knows everybody. So, of course, there's practical jokes going on set all day, especially when 50's working. When 50's working, he's cracking jokes all day. But
So he's not strict or nothing like that?
Nah, hell no. Kind of far from that. He's really fun to work with. You know, he's always looking to have fun, you know what I mean? But everybody on the set is really cool. I love Courtney. I love all the directors that I've worked with on the show are great. All the PAs are great. The hair and makeup department is really dope. It's a really great family, actually.
So I mean, Power's dope.
Right.
You know, I've actually had the privilege to see you in other stuff
Yes.
before that. You
Right.
know what I mean? Before that, it was the Breaks.
Right.
So let's talk about the Breaks. How'd you wind up on the Breaks?
I auditioned for it.
And you just nailed it?
I
And they just
auditioned
gave it
for
to
it.
you?
I mean, okay, fun
Yo,
fact.
y'all starting to make that sound like it's that easy, man.
It's not that easy because as actors we go on tons and tons and tons of auditions. We only get a yes, maybe sometimes. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
see, that's what I want my people to know, like, cause
It's
y'all be like,
hard.
cause everybody's like, yeah, I just auditioned, and I'm like, yo, what do you mean just audition? Like, you have to beat nobody out. Like,
Exactly.
you always watch those movies where people racing auditions,
Right. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like a room full of 100 people,
Right.
and they waiting, and it's like 80 people that look just like you trying to play the role. I mean, yo,
I mean, look,
is that not the case? Is that like an illusion?
It's somewhat. I mean, in those movies they always make it seem like I was the last person to, you know what I mean? But with that one, I auditioned for the Breaks. I auditioned for it about 2 or 3 times because I auditioned to play Mac's part originally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so you were
yeah.
supposed to be the
I
producer,
was supposed
nerdy
to,
dude.
Exactly. So I auditioned for that. I thought the audition went great, but I didn't get it. But they brought me back because they liked me a lot, so they had me read for Scooby. Did that. That went great. Then I had a call back with the director in the room. That was really great. I mean, I kind of had a feeling I booked it because after the audition, he stood up and shook my hand as to say thank you very much for your work. That never happens. That never happens. Even if they like you, you
It's a
can't
black
really
director, right?
Exactly. We a little different.
Yeah,
So yeah, it was
gave you a pound and all that. He's like,
all
yo,
of
my
that.
man.
I love Seep.
Holla
That's
at
the
me,
director
man.
too. Seep,
Okay.
man, he directed it, created it. Really great guy.
That's actually one of my good friends.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Really good dude.
So you want to hear a funny story,
Uh-huh.
even though this interview is really about you. When I saw the movie,
Uh-huh.
and he put it out, because I interviewed him for the movie.
Gotcha.
Well, I didn't interview him. What I did was I had my man interview him.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Because I was just running that aspect of it. And he interviewed him, and I told him at the end of the interview, I said, this is going to be a series. And he was like,
yeah?
I don't know if it's going to be a series. And ask him, he'll tell you.
Uh-huh.
He's like, yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a series. It's good, but I don't know.
Right.
And then we wound up talking again. He says, you know what? You got to come to the screening because this is a series. I was like, it's a series now. He's like, when the screening comes out. So he got me the passes. We went, we hung out, and I think that's when me and you met because I remember the agent.
Right,
He introduced me to everybody.
Exactly.
Really good dude. So
Yeah.
you know, but yeah, I told him I saw the potential in it.
Uh-huh.
It was phenomenal when I
Yeah.
looked at it. I was like, this is dope.
Yeah.
Do you really feel? Let me ask you a question. In playing it in the breaks, do you feel that that's a true reflection of '90s hip hop and how it was?
Hell yeah. I think, yes, absolutely. The only restrictions being, you know, like if it was on like an HBO or something like that, we could cuss. Even though we do cuss on the breaks, you just gotta buy it. If you buy the episodes, you'll hear the curses. And then I think it's a lot better when you hear the curses and you can hear us like really speaking. But I think it is. I love what they teach you about the music industry and the valleys you have to go through just to get a record on the radio, just to get signed to a record label. And I think it's important to remind young cats now of that hustle, because I feel like we kind of lost track of that a little bit, because you know, in the day and age now, like it's a lot easier to get things done. You know what I mean? You got social media, you got the internet. No one's really grinding and going hard. Plus, I love the fact that because it's the '90s, it reintroduces when lyrics mattered in hip hop. You know what I mean? So all of those aspects, I think, is really great. I mean, of course, Scooby, my character, I'm involved with all the hood politics. You know what I mean? But
yeah, because in the show, you like, yo, I don't care about this hip hop. We need to sell this.
Right, exactly.
Exactly. I'm here trying to rap this show.
Exactly. But which is important because then it also gives you that side of the story too. It tells you like, okay, so you know everybody admires these rappers. You know their lyrics are great, but look at the life they come from to be able to write these lyrics and to be able to put their life experiences into.
Yeah, because Big says it. Either you got a wicked jump shot,
or you don't,
and that's it. You know what I mean? Or you selling that.
Right,
Stuff.
exactly.
So now there's another option here. Now we got black actors and
Right.
stuff like that coming up doing their thing.
Exactly.
And because you've been in I saw you in that. Weren't you in that series, the HBO
Night of? Yeah,
Night
that was
of?
my first job out of school. Yeah,
Wow. Because that was with I remember because I spoke to we had Lord Jamal was in that.
Yeah.
And then,
I see him a lot. Actually.
Yeah. It's like I run into people all the
Yeah,
time.
I
You
run
know the
into them all
gods
the
and the
time.
earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So. I saw him a couple of weeks ago. We kicked it for a minute, but I remember you were in that.
Right.
How was it like getting on that show?
Oh,
you said that was your first.
That was
real
my
gig.
first.
So what was
gig.
that like?
I auditioned for it, got the part, but it was almost like a master class. We shot. I'm in the scene. I'm in one scene in that. I'm in the scene where he like gets to the police station and he's got to deal with all the people in the police station. I'm one of those people in the police station he got to deal with. But we shot that one scene for 3 nights straight. 3 consecutive nights. I'm talking. You get there at 6 p.m. We wasn't leaving until 6 a.m., 7 a.m. And this is like one of my first experiences professionally working, and I'm working with, because the guy that wrote and directed is also the guy that wrote Schindler's List.
Wow, really?
Mission Impossible, the original one. His name is Steve Zellian. Really great guy. Really humble. You would think some guy with the clout he had. He has Oscars and Emmys and all that. You would think he would come in, you know, I'm so-and-so. Regular dude. He talked to everybody on set, no matter what your part was. He talked to everybody.
Sandwich guy.
Right.
So he was like,
really,
yo.
exactly. Really cool dude. But also, too, I was working with, there's really great actors in that, on that show. So every day kind of felt like a master class. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember sitting there thinking to myself, like, wow, like, I'm really blessed to be in this room right now. You know what I mean? I look over here, oh, that guy.
And that was your first gig?
That was my first fucking gig, man.
So what other stuff have you done? Because those are the three that I notably
Right.
know you from.
Right.
I know you've done a couple of other things.
Yeah, I've done a few episodes of Shades of Blue. I've done Straight Outta Compton. That was something else I did. That was a whole thing because I was originally supposed to play Dr. Dre in that. I tested to play Dr. Dre.
Ah, that's what I was gonna ask you because I remember you.
Yeah.
That's right, you were Straight Outta Compton. I remember that now.
Yeah.
So that was, and I was gonna ask you that question because there was a lot of, because I remember when we talked about it, I had asked you. I said, "Yo, you gonna play?" Because they hit me. They was like, "Yo," and I was like, "Marcus Callender." I was like, "He's gonna play Dr." I was like, "Yo," so I was like, "Yo, I gotta get him right." I hit you. I was like, "Yo, I gotta get you for my man because he's got an interview for this." And you was like, "Nah."
Let me tell you what happened.
So what happened?
It was a wild ride, man. What happened was pretty much somebody leaked information saying that I was gonna play Dr. Dre, which ended up being in my head. I was probably very, very, very highly considered for the part after testing, but they still ended up going with Corey Hawkins. And, but it sucked because it was all over the media, you know what I mean? Every single major news outlet was saying, Marcus Callender is playing Dr. Dre. This Shakespearean-trained actor will be playing Dr. Dre, all kinds of shit. And I'm thinking to myself, this is cool. It's cool to see this on the internet. I got friends hitting me up, "Yo, you about to play Dr. Dre?"
You should have been like, "Yo, so yeah, I'm about to play Dr. Dre. They ain't pay me yet."
Right.
So you think I
but
can get a couple
that
of
was my
stats real
concern.
quick?
That was my concern. I'm like, I see it all over the news, but ain't nobody tell me yet. You know what I mean? So I couldn't really swallow it yet. I wanted to, but I couldn't really swallow it yet. Then I'm on Instagram. Me and Corey, I've known Corey for a very, very long time. Back when
He does look like Dr. Dre a lot.
He does.
He does.
So we used to, when he was at Juilliard and I was at Purchase, we would chill in the city, or he would come to Purchase sometimes and visit. So I'm on Instagram and I said,
You gotta say, wait, Purchase?
Purchase.
I got accepted to Purchase.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, but I ain't go there. I wanted to go to Old Westbury in Long Island. Because you know what? When I got there, it just seemed it was too far. It was in the middle of the damn place.
Too far.
Old Westbury, you know what it was? Old Westbury had all these girls. It was a party school. Yeah, but it was a party school. I felt like I was going to Howard.
See, okay.
But let's get back to you.
Right. So I'm on Instagram and I see Corey's post and he's in LA with the rest of the cast and I'm like, dang, my heart dropped. It dropped. I had to go take a walk and cool off, and you know what I'm saying. But I still ended up being in the movie. They kind of like just offered me a part just to kind of, you know what I mean, because how everything went. It was like, all right, we'll put you in the movie still. Sorry about what happened. But the funny thing is, like I don't say, nobody said shit. It wasn't like, yo, we fucked up. It was just like nothing. Nothing
Like
ever
it didn't happen.
Exactly. But F. Gary Gray, the director, really great dude.
Wait, did you just say F him or you mean
No,
F?
I said
right?
F. Gary Gray.
Yo,
Nah. That's
he didn't really say.
I did not say that.
He did not. I had to.
Great. That's
his
name.
When we doing these things, sometimes we gotta have fun, man. I just couldn't let that one go.
But yeah, Gary's a really great dude, and I knew it was gonna be a great film when I was testing because his vision was super clear. You know what I mean? As soon as we got to the test, he was like, I want this, I want that, I want it to look like this. Because he didn't really care if you looked like them or not. That wasn't his vision. His vision was more about, I just care about the story. You know what I'm saying? So he liked me a lot. Really, he wanted me to play Ice Cube. Which in my head, I was like, I don't look nothing like Ice Cube. What the hell? So I ended up testing to play Ice Cube and Dr. Dre. I was the only actor there testing for 2 parts. So I'm thinking I'm at a disadvantage because I had more work to do.
So did Ice Cube sit in for the? Because I know his son played.
No.
His son played Ice Cube himself, but so he didn't sit in on it.
He didn't sit on it. I mean, everybody knew his son was gonna get that part because it's his son. Plus, he looks smack dab like Ice Cube. You know what I mean? You can't deny that. But I get there. It wasn't until like I'm on the plane or about to get on the plane. They send me, yo, you're also testing for Dr. Dre. So I'm like, fuck. I gotta prepare. I gotta work on this stuff with Ice Cube. Now I gotta work on this stuff with Dr. Dre. So I'm walking in feeling like I'm at a complete disadvantage. But one of the ladies doing hair, she was like, "Oh, you testing for both parts? They must really want you in the movie." I was like, "Oh, I didn't think about it like that." So I was excited that I was doing both parts, but it was also a lot of work. And I remember the first day we got there, we had to rehearse, and then the next day was the test. So the rehearsal went terrible for me. I was all fucked up in the game. I was confused. I had just got off the plane. I was fucking up lines. I was just fucking up. And I remember the acting coach on set was like, yo, you fucking up. You know what I mean? Like, what you gonna do? Like, because tomorrow is the test. Are you prepared for this? I said, yeah, but I'm so confused because, you know, I didn't know I was going to test with Dr. Dre, But then the next day, you know, I worked on what I had to work on. Then the next day I came in and I thought I did a really great job. But, you know, they make the decisions.
Well, I mean, you've been playing the hell out of the roles you've been getting. I
Appreciate it.
I mean, straight out of Compton, to be straight up with you doesn't really show your talent. Just
exactly,
like,
exactly.
You know, you just this dude, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. That's giving them a hard time.
Yeah,
right,
got punked by Ice Cube, but that's alright. You know what I mean? But I'm saying, but all the other roles you've been doing your thing. You know what I mean? So I'm definitely. Let me ask you a question. Your top 3 favorite actors?
Oh, Denzel Washington, Alfred Woodard, and Denzel, Alfred. I'm gonna say.
And I kind of put you on the spot.
Yeah, you did. Dang it. I've been asked this a lot lately, though. Denzel, Alfred. This don't mean nothing, but I'm gonna throw it in there. I like Tammy Newton a lot.
Okay.
I think she's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, question. J-Lo. I know you was in that shady joint, man. What was that?
I met J-Lo on a few occasions because I tested to play one of the characters on Shades of Blue, one of the series regular characters. So when I did that, I had to read with J-Lo. So that was the first time I really met with her. She was sitting right there. So I remember when I met her, I was like, wow, she's gorgeous. She really is gorgeous, and she did smell good. I get on set, same thing, you know what I mean? But she's really great. She's real cool. You know, she keeps to herself a lot. I mean, mostly on set, but really cool. And she's just as the same way she looks on TV is exactly how she looks in person. Just a little shorter than you expect.
Let me ask you, Black Hollywood.
Okay.
Is that a real thing?
Well, I mean, what do you think Black Hollywood is?
I think Black Hollywood is just brothers only get certain type of roles.
I feel you.
So I'm asking you straight up, do you think that's a real thing? Is it, you know what I mean?
I think on some level it is.
Because it's like you get slave roles,
right.
You get drug dealer roles,
right.
It's like you get in those, you know, some people use the word typecasting. I'm just asking Black Hollywood, right. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
Like, I feel like they get dudes for certain movies and they say, all right, well, let's go to Black Hollywood.
Right.
And this is who we're going to get out of Black Hollywood. And then I've noticed, you know, as before you answer that, I've noticed that it seems like when it comes to black actors, there's like 1 or 2% that get represented by like the top 10 agents in the game.
You're right.
And they kind of, they go. And everybody else has to fight and scrape.
Right.
But these people, and if you're represented by these people, I don't know if it necessarily means you're the best at it. It just means you have the right representation.
Right.
So it's kind of like, damn, I can't really rap, but because I'm down with this, I'm good, and I'm going to get me a role that doesn't get me killed after 2 episodes. It doesn't get me... So was that real? Because I've been like kind of watching how stuff goes.
I think on some level it is a real thing. I mean, at the end of the day, too, I think it is important for us to invest in ourselves and to make those avenues for ourselves instead of looking for them to do it for us, because it's there. And yeah, if you have great representation, you're going to be more in those circles. But I think like, because here's the thing too. Yeah, black actors tend to mostly play the drug dealer roles, or mostly play the, you know, person in prison or something like that. But guess what? On some level, those are real stories, and I think that they deserve to be told. Not that those are the only stories that need to be told, because we could do all kinds of things. You know what I mean? Especially in 2017. But I think that what we have to pay attention to, especially if we're going to do things in our own way, is pay attention to how we execute, what the quality is like, what are the expectations that we hold ourselves to. Because if anything, in the black community, we're not hard enough on each other. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of actors that, you know, are trying to do things independent, but the first thing I'm concerned about, I'm like, but your acting's bad. You know what I mean? So who's going to take you seriously? You know what I mean? We can't just take you seriously just because you're black. Work on that craft. How are we going to teach? How are we going to... I think another important thing, too, to put in our communities is training. You know what I mean? And the emphasis of that. And how important that is. And you know what I mean? Because you could be talented, but if you don't have the technique, you can't really manifest that talent. Because that's what technique is. Technique is just structure for the talent. You could be talented, but if you don't have that structure, you don't know how to use that talent. You know what I'm saying?
So I don't, you know, I think people missed probably, and you probably didn't, but like you said, I'm a Shakespearean. Like, so when people in these roles, they don't know you're over here playing in theater.
But I mean, look,
you know
first
what
of
I
all,
mean?
I ain't no Shakespearean actor.
Nah?
That's what the internet said.
Oh, that's what the internet
That's what
said.
the internet.
Okay.
I didn't say that.
So
shit.
you don't do theater?
I do.
Okay.
But and I was trained in Shakespeare.
So when I said that Shakespeare, does that mean like when you identify with that, does that make you like some top dude in the game? Because they do Shakespeare in the Park, and I've seen some people who are prominent actors in there, like Ruben Santiago.
Oh, yeah,
he's
yeah.
one of my good. He was out there. I was like, yo, ain't that Ruben? Yeah. Yo, what up? He was like, to be or not to be? Shut up, nigga. I'm like, we in the park, what you doing in the park? I'm about to get some change out for him, because I thought that, you know, I'm like, what you doing out here?
I mean,
but then I'm starting to realize.
I like Shakespeare, it's cool, but I'm not one of those actors like, if you don't know how to do Shakespeare, then I kind of personally think Shakespeare is overrated. That's my personal opinion. I know, yeah, you know, yeah, it's cool, but it's not for me. Like, I can go to a play that's Shakespeare, and it can be good, but I always fall asleep. Always. Just because I don't feel like sitting through language like that. Like, it's cool, it's beautiful language, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to sit through it. I'd rather watch a story that has something that I can relate to, that has people that look like me. You know what I'm saying? That talk like me. You know what I'm saying? It's 2017, man. Ain't nobody talking about now is the winter of our... Just beautiful language, but I can't sit through that shit. No disrespect to Shakespearean actors, though, because there are, especially black actors, that love Shakespeare and think that's the end-all, be-all. No disrespect to them, but for me, I ain't looking for that shit. Even with theater, I tend to be more attracted to contemporary work. Like, my favorite playwright is this woman named Dominique Mauricio. Really amazing playwright. She just did it. She just had a play at Lincoln Center called Pipeline. It was a really, really excellent play. It's about the schools. It has to do. It touches on the school system and how sometimes it feels like the teachers or the parents aren't involved enough in the students' lives, and certain things kind of take place in that because of that. But really great play. She did it. She has another play called Sunset Baby, which is a really great play. And I think that's the play that kind of like really blew her up.
Gotcha.
Sunset Baby, another play that she did, Detroit 67, which was at the Public Theater a few years ago.
I think I heard that one.
Detroit 67, yeah, it's a great play. But she's amazing. She's gonna be. You'll definitely know who she is in a few years. Trust me. She's amazing.
So it's crazy, like the whole theater thing, right? So you know Banga. He played on The Wire.
Okay.
Very popular. Matter of fact, he played, you watched The Wire, right?
I've watched episodes.
Okay, so Marlo and Chris and Snoop, he played Chris.
Okay.
He's the guy that was like the ultimate murderer.
Okay.
You know, he was the hitman. He was like the new version. So I remember I was, he invited me to this event, and some people that I knew invited me to this event.
Right.
And I was like, all right, yeah, let me check it out.
Right.
You know, he was doing theater. He said, but the kid, brother, I'm going to be naked. I said, I ain't going to see this dude, man. I can't go see this. Like, you can't tell me, man. You're going to be up there like, butt ass naked. Right, you're going to be out there, and I'm going to be watching you on stage like.
Yeah. They're
going to be like, and you brought us to this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I can't, I can encourage people to go that enjoy it there, but I can't go and support. Yeah, I know you're gonna be up there butt ass naked. But he's a really good actor. He's been in Independence Day. He plays one of the pimps but you haven't seen the pilot yet. I know you told me.
On the Deuce.
On the Deuce. But he's once you see him,
I'm sure if I see his face,
you see his face, you're like, oh yeah, that's he was on Independence Day. He's been in so much stuff. Really good actor, dude, too, man.
Okay.
You guys should definitely connect if you haven't. But
right.
I just So I feel you with the theater thing. It's kind of like...
Well, theater's a great way to learn how to act.
Have you ever struggled with a role that you really wanted and just was like, yo?
Yeah. I struggled with a role. Well, I wouldn't call it a struggle. It just took a lot of work. I did a character named Boy Willie in a play called The Piano Lesson by August Wilson. You know August Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
He's like the black American player.
Yeah, you go to college, you gotta hear about
exactly.
That.
So I did a play called Piano Lesson, and I played Boy Willie. That was a challenging role because I loved the character. I loved the character so much, but he has so many complexities and a lot of lines. So if anything, that was definitely a struggle, but a good struggle. I don't like to use the word struggle when it comes to, like learning a character. I like to use, it's more of you're just finding it. You know
so that was like the hardest role you've ever had to audition for and kind of prepare?
It was the hardest role I had to audition for and do. Yeah, definitely. Because I had to audition for it a bunch of times. I even had to do a Skype session, which was weird for a theater piece.
I mean, this is a general question that's always asked to a lot of actors. Is there any role you won't play? And I know it kind of puts you on the fence here.
Is there any role I won't play?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm going to tell you right now, a lot of people that I run into, a lot of dudes, they say they won't play a gay guy. Like, they won't play a gay guy, and they won't be extreme. Like, who was it that Mark Jeffries?
okay.
Really good friend of mine, too, man. Good dude. He's been on a lot of stuff. He's like, yeah, I can't play no.
I mean, there's a fine line with that. I'll explain myself. One, I've played a gay dude before. I've done it.
Okay.
What
movie was this?
It was an independent film called, I forget the name of it, but it was another project I did like around the time I first got out.
Okay.
I had to kiss nobody or nothing, so it was cool.
Oh, so you just kind of like.
But here's the thing, right?
No, that's not what I'm asking.
I mean, I had a boyfriend in it. It was. Look, I just committed to it. It was a job. You know what I'm saying? Like when you first get out of school, you can't really be picking and choosing. Like you kind of have to go with what you get. So it was a great team, though. I liked the team I was working with. The playwright. I mean, the screenwriter was really dope. It was a good all together project. But hold on now. Let me explain myself. Going forward, if I ain't kissing nobody just to be kissing somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not about to just be kissing a dude or doing things that are unnecessary. Okay. I feel like I would play a gay character if it was a script that really made sense, if it spoke to something that I believed in, and I just had to play this part to contribute to the story. As long as it makes sense and it's grounded in something, I'm not.
All right. So what if they say we got $5 million for you to play a remake of what's that movie? Birdcage.
What's that?
That is, I think, who was in that movie? The guy that played, oh man, I can't think of his name. He's a really big actor too. He's a Good Morning Vietnam. That guy, he played in that movie. He played in Mark and Mindy. He was like, he's a what's this guy's name, man? Anybody in the room know this guy's name? He is a real famous actor. It's called, the movie's Birdcage. He's acting. He's the actor. He's a comedian.
Okay.
Robin Williams?
Huh?
Robin Williams?
Robin Williams.
Robin Williams is
phenomenal actor.
Great actor.
That he played in that movie. I remember when I watched it. They didn't do any kind of sexual stuff, but they say $5 million, but we want to remake this, but it needs to be more intense. It needs to be more sexual. Are you playing that role or not?
I gotta see the movie. I don't know what you're talking about. I gotta see the movie first. Then,
because nowadays the roles are different. Like back in his day, you just had to act gay, hold hands. Maybe you wake up in bed.
I mean, look.
Maybe there was a hug.
But here's the thing.
But
too,
now
like,
dudes just tonguing down and they doing all this crazy shit.
But here's the thing too. If you're gonna do something, commit 100%. Don't half-ass it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying like, if I were to play a character who's gay, I'm gonna commit 100%. You know what I mean?
As a professional.
As a professional actor.
Completely get it.
Just like I committed 100% to Ray Ray. I'm not really that fucked up of a person.
Well, how much are you not that? Do you have a crib in the Heights right now with like money and shit?
Nah, man. It's. Well, here's the other thing too, because people always say like, well, how do you get into the character? Well, people gotta understand like, it's not. This is how I view acting. every character you play is not so far away from who you are. Every character is in you. You just got to know where that is. So I really think that the best actors always have a really good sense of self, who they are, and are very confident and grounded in that. Because when you
support that.
Exactly. Once you're very confident in who you are, you know how. My favorite definition of acting is living truthfully under imaginary circumstances. So if you know your truth, and you take the circumstances given to you, you can apply it to that situation. So essentially every character is in you. It's not necessarily you're going outside of yourself. You're going into yourself, but sometimes you got to go a little deeper, sometimes you don't.
Okay. Yeah. So, on that note, we're gonna end. Any projects you want to let us know that you're working on? Or
definitely,
things coming
Breaks is coming in 2018. I got something else coming, but I can't speak on it yet. That I'm not playing a gangster or nothing like that. I'm not playing a bad dude, so this will be refreshing, I feel. But yeah.
That sounded really boozy. That means the check is serious. You about to get paid, son. See, whenever y'all start talking about that, yeah, it's refreshing.
It's refreshing. I mean, like, cause
that means there's white people money involved here. Man.
It means there's money
it's
involved.
Real money. It's a real money.
Saying like, but look,
we ain't doing BET money, right?
I just feel like everybody knows me to play these really messed up characters, and it's fine, but I could do a lot of other shit. So this should give people an opportunity to see that.
Right. Should they look social media? Anything you want?
Social media, my Instagram is @DistantLoving for Instagram.
Time out. I just remembered something.
Why is that?
So, and I got to because someone asked me to ask.
Right.
It's not. I'm not asking for me.
Okay.
But it seems on your Instagram,
right.
Somebody in love, and so they just want to know: are there wedding bells?
Okay, so I came up with that. I'm a really big fan of Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye is like, I consider him like a spiritual father. But he has a song called Distant Lover, so it's just a play on that song. Distant Lover.
I don't think that's what they said. They said they saw. I ain't gonna look.
Okay.
So, plain question: you involved in that?
Yeah, my girlfriend's right there.
Oh, that's she out there?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, hey, I ain't asking for me. Just wanted to make that real clear. You know what I mean? Well, why you want to know? You ain't got to worry about that now, right? Now the game over, right?
You're right.
All right, man. It's your boy, man, what he said. You know what, Matt? You know what it is. We are here at Lounge Studios, Randall House Records, man. Look for my man, Marcus Callender. Phenomenal dude, man. He's going to be doing some amazing things. Covered up, man. See y'all, man.
All right.